Hello everyone, and welcome to another match of Smite Assault. This time it is a 4v5. I got the random role of playing Hera. She's a new mage. She came out only about a month ago. Makes you wonder what the next god will be. I'm really interested. I hope it's a Guardian, because my favorite class of characters are the Guardians. But yeah, today I'm going to be playing Hera, and I have a big advantage in this fight. You'll notice most of the enemy team is physical. We have a Fenrir, Sun Wukong, Thor, Arachne, and Kronos on the enemy team. The only magic damage dealer on the enemy team is Kronos. So later on, I'll be building kind of a choice item. It gives me a little bit of physical defense, and I really feel like that helped a lot. And then, yeah, other than that, this is like my second time playing Hera, so a lot of it was very new to me, but she felt pretty strong. I'm pretty sure at this point they've already buffed her, because when she initially launched, I remember a lot of players were complaining that she was too weak. So I'm guessing that they buffed her. I know that I received an update on the Xbox, and I'm guessing that's when the buff occurred, but I don't know anything about the buff. Maybe somebody in the audience knows, but I don't keep up with the news that much on Smite. This is a game I play casually, which is why we're playing Assault. So you saw that clone of Sun Wukong there, that's his ultimate. He jumps into the air, he heals, and you get attacked by his clone. It's considered a pet, and he can use it to get into the tower or to just kind of bug you. And what's interesting here is I also have a pet, which is also an ultimate. Is Argo, is that his name? Argo is Hera's ultimate. She drops a big, robotic or clay dummy out of the sky. He does some damage and he chases, your opponent around, and he can be really, he crowds very well, I suppose is what you would say. He crowds well. He does do a chunk of damage as well, and he causes momentary knockup. So it's an interesting kit. I think I really like the regal feeling of her. They talked about that when they were revealing her. I actually do think she was well made in that regard. She kind of reminds me of chess, right? When you're playing chess and you have the queen. Oh, did you see that? So I was attacked by Fenrir there, and I was able to escape most of the damage by using my 3. So Hera's 3 is actually a shield. You can just put a shield around yourself. She doesn't have an out, right? Like an out is where you use a move that allows you to jump away to safety. Hera doesn't have that. Interestingly, she has a shield, and I suppose it does give her a little bit of movement speed, so you could argue it's kind of like an out, but it's interesting. It's not like a true out, meaning she can't jump on her opponent either. An out can be used as a way to invade your target, to jump onto your target. So there's Argo. I'm sticking him on Fenrir there, trying to land my 2. My 2 missed, and I'm putting in the basic attacks. It looks like Kukulkan on my team picked up the kill. That's fine. You can see we have a Sun Wukong. He's in the middle of his ult. That's why he's floating in the air. He just jumped down at the left corner, upper hand corner of the screen. And that Kronos trying to snipe me. You see that little circle that formed at my feet. That's Kronos' attack. Is his what is that? His 1, I believe. It's dangerous. He used to be really overpowered, but then they rebalanced a lot of the items in the game, and that really changed him. There's Thor. He just about got me there. Somebody looks like they used meditation cloak on me. I appreciate that. Oh, actually it was Cupid. Was it Cupid? I could be wrong about that. We have a Cupid on our team, and he's a oh, there we go. I went down for the first time. Cupid is an excellent hunter to have with you in assault mode, because he's going to help your whole team sustain. Also, what you can see I've done here is I've sped up my death so we can get right back into the game, and that's just one of the tricks you get to do when you're editing. So the score right now is 3-1. We've killed 3 of them. They've killed 1 of us. Nobody's taken anyone's tower, and I'm examining everyone's gold and items and everything. It's really important. You really have to analyze what's going on in the game. You have to know what your opponent's doing. You have to know what like how far behind you are. Should you build defensive? Should you play defensive, or should you play aggressively? Right? Those are things you have to kind of determine based on the level of your opponent, how much they've accomplished in their build, if their build makes sense. You get a lot of casual players who don't really make the right, like maybe they're not paying enough attention, and that's part of the skill of the game. You have to know what you're supposed to be building. So if you see that people are building wrong, you can really take advantage of them and be more aggressive. If they're building correctly and they have a lead, you have to be more defensive. There we go. Kukulkan on our team picking up another kill. I missed my 2. The 2 has a long windup on Hera. I feel like that's justified, though. I think I understand what they're trying to go for. They really want the 2 to have some strong synergy with Argo. That's what I think it is. Argo goes in and he crowds you, and then you're able to land the 2 on your opponent who's trying to get away from Argo. Well, because he's so crowded, you actually get a little more leeway with aiming your 2. It has a long windup, sure, but they're so busy with Argo they don't manage to avoid it. Kukulkan, great placement with his wind tunnel there. And you can see I'm not getting a lot of kills. I'm putting out okay damage. I'm landing my 1 and my 2 a decent number of times. Like you just saw there was my 2. There's my ult. I'm going to use the shield to get more damage on my ult, and he's gone. He was trying to ult. That was the enemy Sun Wukong, and I pretty much just burst him down there between all of my moves. And here's Kronos. Kronos is actually a pretty good character for this game mode as well. His ultimate allows him to go back in time 8 seconds to the amount of health and the amount of mana he had back then. Also, it resets his cooldowns, correct? Here we go. He's almost got me. Kronos almost has me. I got my shield up. Kronos is almost dead as well. He's close. Oh, and there he goes. He's down. I got him. And I'm gone. I actually remember that. I saw Arachne using her ultimate. She crawls on the ceiling is what Arachne does. And as soon as I saw her and I knew, my moves were on cooldown, I was like, that's it. She's got me. I don't have my Aegis, so I couldn't use... Aegis, by the way, is an active item. You can see it's on cooldown in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. It has 112 seconds left. Aegis makes you invulnerable for a period of time. It's called an active item. You can activate it using, in my case, I would press the X button on my Xbox controller, and then I'd be invulnerable for a period of time. I think it's 2 seconds, right? And then it has to recharge, right? That's an active item. All right, we're back in the fight. Let's see what's going on. I dropped Argo. I'm probably going to call him back because, yeah, I just called him back onto the Sun Wukong to try and keep him close to me, try to have him... I don't want him to die too fast. Argo does die fast if you focus on him. If the enemy team focuses on him, they can take him down pretty fast. So you kind of do have to control Argo, kind of the same way you want to control Scotty's dog, right? Missed my 2, missed my 1. I'm just kind of throwing them out there. It's kind of a defensive playstyle. You can see I'm trying to outrange my opponent, and that's something you can really get away with doing in this game mode because there's not a lot else to do. You're not trying to go after camps. You're not trying to... gank. Everybody can see each other in this game mode, so it really comes down to being able to outrange your opponent, outtime them, right? It becomes more, what's interesting about Assault is in a way it becomes more like a game, like a fighter game, like Smash Brothers, right? Smash Brothers, you don't gank in Smash Brothers, you don't focus on mini jobs like killing minions or invading. In Smash Brothers, you just fight each other, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I like this game mode so much. It's because you really are just focused on fighting each other, and you don't easily get to heal up. You have to build for sustain, and there is a cost for building sustain. So there I am landing my... Did I land both my 1 and 2? I couldn't tell there. I think I only landed my 2 there. Kronos coming after me. I should have used my shield earlier. Here I am going into my 1 once again. This is a great situation. You can see they're all trying to avoid the wind tunnel from Kukulkan, and there we go. That was Arachne. Yeah, they were all bunched up in a group, and that's terrific for getting a lot of damage out quickly if your moves are on cooldown, and mine were. Kronos is in a lot of trouble. He's out of position, right? He's behind us. He really shouldn't be. There I am landing my 1 and my 2, and Argo is on him. Thor is out of position. Everybody on the enemy team getting out of position. That was great for us. So that's really important because having us all bunched up there, killing the enemy like that is really going to help us rank up. And we're going to have that rank advantage over our opponents. But right now, technically, they have an advantage because both of our towers are down. So you'll notice on the minimap, they have 2 of their towers up and the Phoenix. We only have the Phoenix, so they've already collected all of the money you get for breaking the towers. That's going to give them kind of an item advantage in the game. And if we're not careful, we're going to be outplayed by that. They're just going to be stronger than us. So it's really important for us that we take these towers down now. And you can see that Sun Wukong, Cupid, and Kukulkan are really tower diving there, trying to take the tower down. They really did a great job. And I was just trying to stay out because I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, but man, it really did. Kukulkan landing his ult there, that was really good. Clearing these minions so that we can get into the tower. There's our minions. Once your minions are in range of the tower, you actually do more damage to the tower. So it's really important for the enemy team to kill our minions in this case. And it's kind of our job to get damage on the tower before they kill those minions. That's kind of how it plays out. So you can see I'm in trouble. I just got ulted by Fenrir. Fenrir turns into a bigger version of himself, and then he picks you up. Not a lot I could do there. I used my Aegis, and then, it was all over for me. Alright, and there's the AFK player. He never came back, unfortunately. We don't know why he left. Everybody in this game is just random. But here we are. They've pushed us back up to our Phoenix, and they want to kill our Phoenix so that they can get to our Titan. Right? That's the point of Assault. Like many of the game modes in Smite, the whole point is simply to kill the Titan. Alright, landed my 1 there on Kronos. He's got a nice chunk of health missing. And here I am waiting for my team to regroup. I know Sun Wukong just spawned in. I don't want to be too aggressive until Sun Wukong's in, because he's going to be our fight initiator since he can sustain better than I can, and he's going to be able to get better damage mitigation when he attacks as well, or when he gets attacked, I should say. So here we go, Sun Wukong is back in the fight, and now I get to follow around behind him and try to makes sense of the chaos that he causes, right? That's the point. When you initiate a fight, you try to disarm your opponent, or you just try to be, there we go. Who was that? That was Fenrir. Fenrir's down. You just try to cause disruption and get damage in and be able to sustain your opponent when you're initiating the fight. Sometimes it's more important to go after the enemy's damage dealer. Sometimes it's more important to you know, annoy the enemy's tank or annoy the enemy's guardian. It just all depends on who you're fighting and who's playing best on their team, right? You got to pay attention to all those little details. So they're in a lot of trouble now. It's just Arachne and enemy Sun Wukong, and he is taking damage. Really what the enemy Sun Wukong should have done in this situation, he should not have tried to fight us. Same with the Arachne, that was a real noob mistake there. She used her ult to jump into all 5 of us. You see people do this all the time in Assault. Like, you're going to take all 5 of us and we're already ranked 20. You just can't. You need to hang out by your Titan, and you need to help defend the Titan. She's dead now, so she's not able to defend him, and there it goes. That's another thing. You could tell I was on a decent team because rather than going after our opponents, we actually went straight for the Titan. When you're on a newbie team in Assault, what tends to happen is people go for the kills rather than trying to end the game by going for the Titan. Big mistake. Let's go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard. All right. And there you go. You can see that Kukulkan and I were doing pretty much the same amount of damage. It was pretty close. I think he played a little better than I did, but again, that was like my second time playing Hera. The only time I get to play her, of course, is when I randomly roll her for Assault. So yeah, maybe the second time. And it went very well. Everyone on my team played well, and you could tell people on the enemy team were playing kind of casually, which is what you see a lot in the Assault game mode. It's one of the reasons why I like it, because you have situations like this, where you could be fighting a group of noobs and still win a 4v5. And I think that's fun, basically. Occasionally you're on the bad team. You'll have teammates that are not that skilled, and you do your best to try and come back from that anyway. So it's just part of the fun of this game mode. Alright, let me know what you guys thought of the commentary. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this gameplay and if you want to see more of it. I'm just kind of experimenting with Smite right now. It's always been my go-to in-between game. It's not going to become my main game. This is just something I'm doing for fun. Alright, I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.